Hey, it's Danny, and I thought I would go live just randomly on a Sunday evening. I'm going to spend about 40 minutes on this live. Let me know if you're watching. Let me know if you can see me. Let me know if you can hear me. If this is working. This is not planned. This is not scripted. There's no slides. I just thought I'd kind of go live and show you how we built a business and made a few $1 million in sales over a few years. If that's cool. If you're down for that, we're gonna hang out for 40 minutes or so. Just let me know in the chat if you can see, if it's working, if you're interested. Give us a comment. Let me know where you're logged in from, and I'm gonna do something that I've not really done for a long time. I'm just gonna sort of sketch out some stuff, share some stories and some insights, and hopefully give you an idea of some of the things that are possible when it comes to building and scaling and growing a business online. And if that sounds like a plan, you stick around to the end. I'll give you some cool stuff that you can take away and you can use in your own business. And I'll give you a bunch of gold in between, right? So that's kind of the game plan, what we're going to do in the next sort of 35, 40 minutes. And I really want to focus on this notion that anything is possible when it comes to an online business. And sometimes people start a business, they don't really know what's going to happen. And I've done that many times, right? Let me know in the comments if you're setting up a business or you're starting a business or you're in business, and let me know if the internet is an important part of that business. Just let me know where you're logged in from. I know a few people will be joining us now. I can see the numbers are starting to move a little bit. So thank you for joining wherever you are logged in the world. Give us some comments, give us some likes, give us some hearts. You can share this as well. It should be public. The whole point of this presentation, this video, this live, is I want to share with you how we made $3 million in sales selling fishing tackle, right? And if I can do it, you can do it, right? So just have a think about your business and what you're doing right now. If over the course of the next few years you could generate a fraction of that, what would it mean to you and your family? Because, man, it seems like a big number, but it's not impossible. And that's what I want to share with you today, that anything is possible online. But there's some things I've learned along the way that I kind of want to share with you, and I want to give you to avoid you making the mistakes that I've made, and hopefully help you to move further forward faster. You say further forward faster in the chat with like a hashtag. Let me know if you're live or on the replay. This is going to be up for a little while. But look, I want to share with you how we made $3 million selling fishing tackle. I got into Two Comma Club and had a lot of fun along the way. Does it sound like a plan? Let me know if that sounds cool. Sounds like a plan. You won't get this anywhere else. I'm probably going to share things that I'm not supposed to and that I've never shared before, because the nature of the thing is literally I've got the pen, I've got the whiteboard, I've got a folder with some pictures and different things. And I just want to share this with you today, right? So this is the plan. I want to share with you how we did this. And I want to give you the strategy. I want to give you some of the mindset stuff, and hopefully can get you started, right? And it's not as difficult as it may seem. So if I could share something with you that helps you in your business, whether it's a physical business or an expert business, information business, affiliate business, then my work here is done, right? So that's kind of like the plan. That's what I want to do. Hopefully this is working and you can see me and hear me. Let me know in the comments. Keep me moving, keep me energized. Give me likes, give me hearts. But this is how we did $3 million selling fishing tackle in a relatively short period of time during COVID as well. So if you stick around to the end, I do have a bonus that I'm going to give you at the end, something that you can use in your own business. And hopefully you can get that, you can download it, and you can have a lot of fun, right? So I just want to kind of go back a little while, and I want to go back to 2017. I was very prominent online and had a web design company, and I was building websites for people all the time. And websites are a very interesting thing when it comes to actually building them, because what a website means is somebody actually relying on you for their money, right? So if you build a website for somebody and you go and sell this website, they're kind of relying on you for their income. And I would build these things and maybe I'd charge, sometimes I'd charge $100, sometimes I'd charge $2,000, whatever, right? And I build these websites and I would sell them to people and I would kind of be responsible for their income because I've provided this site and it's kind of up to me to make this all work, right? And people would pay me money in good faith and they would go out there, they plug this website in and hopefully they'd make some sales. And I did this for quite a while. I did this probably earlier than 2017. Probably, I've been doing this for a long, long time. I was always the guy who would help people with like technology or the computer needed fixing, or maybe they had a technical problem, or even if they needed like a CD writer installing into the computer, I'd be the guy that did that. And people would come to me and be like, "Hey, Danny, I need this thing. I need this problem solving." And eventually I got into websites and I would go out there and I build these websites and I put them together for whatever, maybe 5,000, right? Whatever. And I sell these websites and people would look at me as their savior. Hey, Danny's built this website and now we're going to make a big bunch of money. Does anybody do websites? Let us know if you do websites in the chat. Let us know if you've ever been in the website game. Needless to say, I wasn't people's savior. And it's also true to say that not everybody made money. So we ended up with some people who were not best pleased because we'd build them a beautiful website and we'd put it out there on the internet. And, people would come to the website and then people would leave the website. And we could never kind of figure out why. If you got a website online right now and people come to your website and then they leave and you don't know why, that's a big issue, right? And this was a big issue for anybody who I would work with because only a small percentage of people would actually be happy, would actually make some money. And the majority of people, I don't know what the exact number is, but say, 80% plus were generally unhappy because there's something I didn't know back then that I know now. Websites are not the way to actually make money online. Websites have got like pretty pictures and menus and a bunch of stuff on there, but they don't really make money. And it took a long, long time to figure that out. But this was kind of accelerated one day, and I sort of woke up in the morning, sort of 2016, 2017, and the phone is ringing, and there's all these people like on the phone, and all of these guys are like really upset, and I'm like, man, what's going on? So I'm like, oh man, questioning myself. I'm thinking the phone doesn't normally ring this much, and everybody's really upset. And all of the websites that I'd built had all disappeared. And I was like, this is not good. So I got onto the server company. I'm like, hey, everybody's website's disappeared and I'm getting all these calls. Everybody's going crazy. What do I do? And he said, it's cool. Don't worry. There's a backup. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the hard drive out of the server, which has got this problem, and we're going to replace this hard drive with a new one. And then we'll run the backup and everything's cool. Everyone's website will come back. I'm like, right, let's do it. So I tell all of these guys, hey, your website's going to be back on by noon. And we run the backup. The server's like a big sort of machine, and there's all these little hard drives in it. I basically rented one of these hard drives off this company. So they pull the server out, and their data protection policy is instead of just taking it out and like leaving it on a shelf somewhere, they actually incinerate it. They throw it into a fire so there's nobody can get somebody else's data, right? So they do this thing, they burn the hard drive, and then they run the backup. A few hours later, it goes past noon. It's like 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. So we're like 3 p.m. now. And I phone back and I'm like, hey, the backup's still not working. And they're like, we've got a problem with the backup. So I'm like, what do you mean we've got a problem with the backup? They're like, there's a problem with the backup. I'm like, holy crap. What's the problem? And they're like, well, when we said we're going to burn your hard drive for data protection, well, the backup didn't work. So now not only did I have people who were not making a big bunch of money, I had a bunch of customers who didn't have websites, and that was all my fault as well. And I was like, oh man, this is the worst day ever. So I was like, what do I do? How do I fix this? And around this time, I learned about a drag and drop website builder software that allows you to literally go into a web browser, so you don't need to like log into servers and have software and all of this crazy stuff and connect to like IP addresses like you used to have to do to run this thing that I was running. You could literally go in there and you can drag and drop, right? So if you wanted like a headline, you could drop your headline in. If you wanted to put a video in there, connect it to YouTube, you could just do that and have the URL. If you wanted like a box where you could put like a name and you could put an email and like a button to submit a form and like put text and all these things, you could literally drag and drop these websites. And I kept seeing this ad. I was like, man, I should use this, but I'm happy as I am. On that day when everything kind of went wrong, I was like, find that ad. Have you ever like seen something that you wanted to find again online and you could never find it? It's like you're looking for this thing everywhere. And eventually the ad came and I was like, right, this is the thing. I click it and it was a measly $97 a month, right? And this was something based in the US. I was like, right, I need this thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop my way out of this problem. So I buy this thing, I spend my $97, get this drag and drop software, and I start to build the websites again for all of the websites that have broken. Now, out of my 70 plus customers, I would say 60 of them just left. So 60 people left. I managed to build 10 of the websites, rebuild them online using this drag and drop thing. And I drag and drop and I click all this stuff and I build these new style websites using this drag and drop builder. And I managed to save 10. So I lose 60 customers, I save 10 customers. Some of these guys are still with me to this day, right? So I rebuild all of this stuff using the drag and drop. I do it really, really quick. And I'm like, oh, we're saved. Some other people I couldn't save, right? They didn't want to waste the time. And I said before, I used to build some websites for like $100 or whatever. So you can imagine like the relationship wasn't the best with the customer, right? So I let these guys kind of go. I was a little bit relieved, to be honest. And I worked on the 10 that I could fix. We dragged and dropped. Everybody was happy. But something kind of weird happened, right? The people whose websites I rebuilt using the drag and drop, because I didn't have time to do all the menus and do all of the, about us and all of this stuff, what I actually built was quite profound in terms of what I would do normally. Instead of building a big bunch of pages on like WordPress and connecting all this stuff together, I tried to build like a one pager. So at the top, they'd have like a menu. And what would happen when they clicked on a menu, they would just kind of like scroll down to a section, right? So right at the top, I'd put like a big headline. And this headline would be like, hey, whatever service or product it is. And below that, what I was doing is I was having a video. About that time, I used to have like a little video animation software. So I had these little videos for my clients explaining about their businesses. And I already had those saved. So I would drop that in this like little top box section. And then I'd kind of have a section over here to add like, hey, join our mailing list. And I made this real prominent at the top of the page. And when people signed up, what happened is they would go straight onto an email autoresponder. And we were using like GetResponse or something back in the day, right? But we did this thing. So we had like a video, a headline, this little box, put your name and email. And then when you pressed a menu item, what would happen is it would scroll down to a section with like, hey, about us and some information. And then below there, it'd be like, hey, these are our products, these are our services. And then below that, there'd be another thing, some more information. And they'd have like the footer at the bottom with like the logo and copyright and all this stuff. So I built out these pages and I managed to save my business, right? But not only did I save my business, something crazy happened. A few weeks later, I'd ring and I'd check people and be like, hey, how you doing? How's the new website? I think, oh man, I don't want to lose any more customers, right? And this, almost like a miracle had occurred. The people were telling me that they were actually seeing an increase in sales and an increase in people joining the newsletter, and they were seeing an increase in inquiries, right? I'm thinking, well, this never happened before with the website, so why is it happening now? And it was at that point that I realized that websites were not the way to go in business. And in case you don't know, the software in question was ClickFunnels, the new software, the drag and drop builder. And as part of ClickFunnels, there's this awesome guy called Russell Brunson. And I've sort of met Russell since, and it's amazing. But I didn't really look at the man behind the product. I just needed this drag and drop thing. As months passed, I started to immerse myself in the training that went with the drag and drop builder with ClickFunnels. And I realized by accident, I'd not built websites for these people. I'd built them funnels. And that's when like this light bulb came on that, man, funnels are the way to make money on the internet. And I started to study this stuff. So you can imagine this is like 2015, 2017. I'm reading all the books. I can draw. Am I a good drawer? I don't know if I'm a good drawer. I'm reading the books. I'm watching the videos. I'm taking the courses. I'm doing all of this stuff. And all I wanted to do is like learn about funnels. There's like books up there from Russell Brunson. I had the originals. These are the newer copies. The originals around somewhere. And I've learned and studied and got immersed into this. And I kind of joined the community. And in this community, there's all these other guys who are building funnels, and everyone's going funnel crazy, and there's events, and we're traveling to America and doing all this stuff. And it ended up where I realized, man, I was good at websites, I'm good at graphics, good at all of this stuff. But when it comes to funnels, if I can just focus on building funnels for people, there's a good chance that I'm going to get them the results and a good chance that I'm going to make some money. And would you believe it? I was able to do both. And my income shot up, and also the results, the percentage of the people actually getting sales and leads and clients and stuff through their products and services, that increased as well. And yes, I can attribute some of it to me and my skills and design, but I realized that funnels are the way. And fast forward 2017, 18, I was the guy that people were tagging in the community saying, hey, build me a funnel. Danny can build funnels. They're doing all this funnel stuff, right? And I know people watching this now are like, yeah, we get it, funnels. And what I realized is on that front page, when people watch the video and the headline and you know, they just put the name and email in, it's not complicated. It's not like a website with loads of stuff. It's just dead simple. And adding folks to your mailing list is super important, because that means you can keep emailing them. And what I learned about is, hey, you can put another page over here and you can offer some stuff. And then you put another page over here and you offer some more stuff. And I started building my own funnels and launching my own funnels, doing this for clients. People were tagging me. It was amazing. It was crazy. We made a big bunch of money. And I started doing affiliate marketing and really starting to understand this world. And I was like, man, I'm so glad that this web server broke. Light bulbs were coming on every minute. And I'm like super excited. I'm doing this thing. And as I evolved and I was working with people, I got to a point where I realized I'm kind of teaching people or building stuff for people based on theory. I don't really have anything of my own to base this on, right? Yes, I can sell funnels and I can show people how to like design funnels. I could design them for, but I'm like, what business am I actually running? And I got this mentor. And if you're not got a mentor, you need to get a mentor, right? That's one of the biggest life-changing moments in any entrepreneur, any business owner's life. You get this mentor. So I've hired this mentor, and I'm like, look, I'm doing these websites, I'm doing affiliate marketing, I'm building things for people, I've got these things going on. And he's like, Danny, he said, you're all over the place, man. And he was this big Scotsman. He used to work for a big company called Unilever, which is like they do all sorts of different products. And he says, Danny, he said, you're all over the place, man. He said, you need to just focus on one thing. And I was like, oh man. I said, you're probably right. So I realized that, look, I can't do everything. It's super important. And also to actually get people the results that they need and deserve and want online, I need to have something to base this on. I need like a foundation. So I thought, well, what are the things that I love in life? And I'm wondering if I could build a business around that. And one of the things I loved is fishing. And I love fishing, go fishing for huge carp. And we go out there and used to spend days on end fishing for these huge carp in the UK. And I thought, I wonder if it's possible to actually build a business around carp fishing, but using funnels as the mechanism to promote this, to market it, to actually go out there and make some money, right? And we was like, right, well, maybe we could. So what I did, which was pretty crazy, is I said, I'm no longer going to build funnels for people. I'm no longer going to be active in the community. I'm going to take a step back, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to try and build my own funnels for a fishing business. And I had some domain names in my sort of like website inventory, and I had a look through, and I had this domain name for a fishing website that I'd never used before. And I'm like, right, that will do. What do I need to do? I need to build this business. What have I learned in the books? What have I learned from working with all of these different companies? And I literally just stopped everything and I went all in on the fishing. Now, if you're just joining me on this live, this decision, which is super important, right? Because when you decide, you go from one side of the line to the other. You decide, you cut off the other side. So I decided that I'm going to stop like building things for people, and I'm going to go all in on one thing. So I wouldn't be all over the place anymore. I'd be all in on one thing, and that thing was fishing, and I was going to use funnels, and the goal of this was to build a business and make some money. That was the plan. And at this point, I was making like $10,000 a month, right? Or more, just from YouTube revenue, right? And I turned it off. I was making a similar amount of money a month from affiliate revenue, and I turned it off, right? And people might think, Danny, you crazy? Why would you do that? Why would you just turn off like 20 grand a month plus clients? You know, it could be some months with 30, 40 grand months, right? And I stopped. I was traveling the world. I was like in all the events. I was living the dream, and I stopped it all. And I stopped it because I knew that I had to make a decision to focus on one thing. And I also had this burning desire to prove that funnels would work in any niche. And I wanted to prove to myself that I could actually build and launch a business that wasn't using somebody else's idea. So I'm like, right, this is the plan. We're going to do fishing and we're going to do funnels. And I made this big decision on this day to use ClickFunnels to build, launch, scale my fishing business. And as I said at the beginning, this turned into 3 million plus in sales. But it also did something profound. We had over 20,000 members in a Facebook group, right, who were our customers. We did events. You didn't have to worry about fishing tackle. I had all the fishing tackle I could ever want. And we built a family business. We employed people. We did all of this because I'd made that decision and chose one thing. And I was like, wow, this is super exciting. And I want to share with you, if it's cool, let me know in the comments if it's cool. I want to share with you some of the biggest takeaways that we had building, growing, and scaling this business using funnels in the next 20 minutes or so, right? Is that sound like a plan? We do that? Let me know in the chat. Let me know. Roxanne says, sounds great. Sounds good. Wherever you're logged in from, some people are on YouTube as well. Let me know where you're logged in from. Jeff says, mentors are key. It was a disaster at the time. What's up? Websites and funnels, says J Mac. Everything's working perfectly. Sounds like a plan. Let's go. Yes, please. Right. So these are some things that we learned in the development of this business, right? And one of the first things that usually happens to people is they're like, right, I kind of know I need some kind of thing online, and I'm not quite sure what it is. And maybe they look at a website, maybe they look at like Shopify, or they go and try and figure out something on like Wix, or they use Squarespace, or maybe they do eBay trading or Amazon trading or whatever it is. I listened back to what the mentor said, and I just chose that one thing: funnels. This is it. Funnels all the way, right? So I've got this concept. It's going to be funnels, and that ability to decide was so important. But what kind of funnel? Has anybody heard the expression "you're one funnel away"? Let me know in the comments if you've heard. Like, put hashtag one funnel away, right? So there's this notion of being one funnel away, right? Because what I'd learned from the books and all these different things is that there's lots and lots of different types of funnels. There's like webinar funnels. So I could do this video now and call it a webinar, right? There's challenge funnels. You've been in the challenge, like a 5-day or a 3-day challenge. There's book funnels, and there's application funnels, and there's high ticket funnels, and there's tripwire funnels, and there's all these different kinds of funnels. And I'm like, man, I need just like one funnel, because I can't go out there and build all of this crazy stuff because I wouldn't be focused anymore. Does that make sense? There's like, oh man, it's like you're all over the place. So this voice keeps echoing around my head. Danny, you're all over the place, man. Do one thing. So I'm like, right, fishing, funnels. So which funnel is it that I need? Right? So I'm like, oh man, which funnel is it? I don't know. Is it a book funnel? Am I writing a book? No. Is it a high ticket funnel? Or what am I selling? Is it going to be high ticket? No, it's not. So I don't need that funnel. Is it a tripwire funnel? Possibly. Are we going to do like a free plus shipping thing where we give something for free? We just charge the shipping and then we upsell a bunch of stuff? Maybe. But I was looking around and I thought, well, there's this concept of being one funnel away. I don't think it's like the first funnel that you launch just makes you $1 million, which is certainly not the case. But it is that one type of funnel, right? And if you're just joining us, you don't know what I'm talking about. A funnel is like the series of pages connected together. They're not complicated. It doesn't have loads of things going on. You're adding people to your mailing list. You're upselling them a bunch of stuff, and you're kind of moving them through a process. Now, as time's evolved, I consider a funnel to be more like this. So this is like a journey between stations, right? So imagine you've got these little railway stations, and it's your job to move people from A to B. And that could be ads to bank, right? So you want to move your customers from the first time they see you in an ad all the way through to your bank account, right? Make some money. And I consider the actual pages in ClickFunnels as the tracks, right? It's what you do on the station and it's what you do on the train that matters. And I kind of realized this over time, but that one little thing there, if you think about, hey, you're going to build these pages, that's just the track. It's the message, it's the advertising, it's all these components fit together that move people from A to B, right? It's a journey for your customer. And when you realize that, your one funnel, even if it's simple, could make the whole difference to everything you've ever done in your life, in your business, and more, right? So I was like, what is this one funnel? And I started to do what every good new business owner does, is go out there and do some market research, right? So I went out there and opened my eyes, and I started scrolling through the news feeds where the fishing community was, right? And I knew about a bunch of fishing stuff. I was in the fishing community. I was a fisherman. I used to buy fishing tackle myself, and I started going on Facebook. And I didn't want to overcomplicate this. I didn't want to go all over the place. There's a voice. You're all over the place, man. So it's like, right, I've got the idea is fishing. I know I need one funnel, and I'm going to find people on Facebook. Does it make sense? So I was like, right, fishing, funnel, Facebook. I had like this crazy framework, and I'm like, right, this is the plan. So I go on there and I start looking up and down, and I'm like, right, what are people doing online? Right? What are they actually doing already online? So if you're going to start something, you start a business, you're going to be like, hey, I need to go figure out what people are doing online, right? So my mentor said, you're all over the place, stay focused. So I scrapped everything. I decided, and I'm like, right, I've made this decision. I'm not doing this stuff anymore. I'm going to go and I'm going to focus on fishing. I'm going to focus on funnels. And I'm going to focus on Facebook. That's it. That's the plan. What's going on? What's happening in this world, right? So I go on to Facebook, and I start having a look at the posts and see, hey, this guy's selling fishing tackle. This guy's doing this thing. These guys have got an event. These guys have got this thing. This guy's... And then all of a sudden I realized there was a pattern emerging, right? Every other post seemed to be... I was like, looking at this thinking, every other post seemed to be a chance to win a prize, right? We have a pen working. people were giving away prizes. I'm like, how does this work? Because every time I saw somebody giving away a prize, the likes and the shares and the interaction on those posts was notably different to people who were just trying to like do some boring stuff, just sell something, right? So people who were trying to sell something might have got 20 likes. People giving away a prize were getting like 50, 100, 200, 1,000, and they were getting loads of shares. And I know I've got some people in the chat right now, so let's just try and like illustrate how this works. Is it cool if I just take a second just to try and illustrate how this works with the folks in the chat? Just let me know. So like, I've got 2 comment streams running. Let me know in the comments if I can illustrate exactly why prizes are awesome. Let me know. Say yes, yes, yes. Give me some like prize, win, 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 or something like that. Because if I was to give away a prize right now on the stream, would you want to win it? You want to win a prize? Is that cool? Can we give away a prize? Jeff's in the chat. J-Max in the chat. Godly Trading's in the chat. Pepper and Nick. Roxanne's in the chat saying yes, prizes, let's win. Tara's in the chat. Jamie's in the chat as well, who's actually reminiscing back to the day, right? So was looking on the internet and I realized everybody's winning prizes. I'm like, so if I give away a prize right now, Jeff wants to win a prize. I'm sure Jamie wants to win a prize, right? Roxanne wants to win a prize. You've seen me do this before. So just write real quick why you want to win the prize. And you don't even know what it is yet, but just tell me why you want to win a prize. Let me know real quick in the comments as I'm showing you this stuff, right? See how everyone's kind of going crazy and commenting right now, saying, me, 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 I want to win a prize. I thought, well, I wonder if we could have some kind of giveaway funnel, right? So I knew it was fishing. I knew it was a funnel, one funnel. And I knew that it was be Facebook. And the missing piece in all of that was what Roxanne's like, because it's fun. It's fun, right? There we go. There's my missing F, right? Thanks, Roxanne. You're a winner. When I speak to you tomorrow on the call, I'll give you your prize, right? So now I'm like, right. And there's actually a framework emerging here right now. Framework makes the game work, right? So we've got fishing, funnel, Facebook, and fun. And I thought, well, I wonder if I could make this fishing thing fun and use funnels. So we put the fun in funnel, right? I've not scripted any of this stuff. I'm just talking, right? So imagine if we could do that in any business. But I'm still thinking, well, what is the one funnel? And we're going to have another F here, which is kind of cool. I look back in the old books from Russell Brunson and realized there was this thing called the fishbowl, and a fishbowl funnel, which is what this is. So we've got all these F's building up. I never scripted this. This is amazing. The fishbowl funnel is what you do is you go and run your little ad online and you send people to a simple page that says, hey, do you want to win some stuff? And if you do, put your name, email, phone number in, and there's a chance to win. That adds them to the mailing list. And on the next page, we say, hey, step 1, join our group. Step 2, like our page. Step 3, buy some stuff. And I came up with this like notion that if I could do fishing with a fishbowl funnel on Facebook and make it fun, there's a good chance that people would react, because all of these posts where everybody was going crazy for these giveaways. But the one thing that all of the guys in fishing were not doing is collecting names and emails. And I knew from my education and all the stuff I'd invested in that I had to collect the name and email because the money's in the list, right? So secret 1 that I've shared with you just now is if you keep it simple and you focus on one funnel, right? You can go out there and have some fun with people and get them to interact with you if you go against the grain and you actually give some stuff away. You don't just try and sell it straight away. And the fishbowl funnel was reborn. Now, if you don't know why it's called a fishbowl, if you've ever been to one of these like events and the guy says, hey, put your business card in this big fishbowl like a fish tank, right? If you're in the UK, it's a fish tank. You put your business card in, and eventually he pulls out a business card and he telephones the guy and says, hey, you've won this thing. You see these things all the time, right? And you throw your business card in, you write your name on a piece of paper, you throw it in. How many people have actually won on one of those things? Not many. Because what that guy's done is walked away with a big fishbowl full of leads, names, emails, phone numbers, everything he needs then to give to his sales team and say, these guys are interested in winning this thing, call them and sell them the same thing. And I was like, man, this works. So the big secret, the first thing is the fishbowl funnel, right? The fishbowl funnel literally puts the fun in funnels. It's engaging, it's easy to build. And we tested this, and this is cool, right? Because I don't know if I can find this. I've just had it on the screen a minute ago. We tested this, and we actually thought, man, how are we going to do this? I had not really a great deal of money to put into this, even though I was making some good money. I didn't want to just go and like spend all of my money on like trying to launch this thing, and I wanted to start as simple as possible. So I'm like, right, what's the easiest way to launch this without like buying lots and lots of different fishing items? And like, you know, we want to make sure it's right. We don't just want to go out there and like try and, hey, we're a fishing shop or whatever, and get it wrong and then waste a big bunch of money, right? So I went to the fishing store in town in the city center, and I've gone in there and I've looked around and I'm like, right, I need to do this prize thing. So what can I give away? And I found some stuff on the shelf, and I got it. I took a picture of me and I put it back on the shelf. I thought, right, if this doesn't work, we don't like have to worry, because we'll just delete it and we'll never be seen again, right? And I did this, and then I created this fishbowl funnel. It was the crudest thing ever. It was dead simple. ClickFunnels Classic. It was, you know, years ago, and we gave away this prize. Now I've actually found the picture of the guy who won the first ever prize that we give away. Let me know if you want to see the first ever guy that ever won a prize in me ever doing this. This was the big realization that the fishbowl funnel worked, right? So you might be thinking, oh man, this thing's going to be costly, and I'm going to buy a big bunch of stuff, and I go out there and I spend a big bunch of money. And like, we literally went into the store and grabbed a picture of something on the shelf and then put it back. So we didn't buy anything, and we built it out in ClickFunnels, and then we ran this little giveaway, and people started joining and signing up and sharing and joining my group, and all this stuff's going on. And after about a week, we gave away the prize. And this is the first ever guy that won. And it just says February 10. It doesn't say February 10 when, but it was like 2018. This was the guy, and he won. I think you can just about see the price. We gave him 3 of these little fishing things, and each of those were like £25. So there's like £75 worth of stuff. And Michael was the first ever guy to win one of our prizes, and he shared it online. We sent it to him, and he shared it online. I was like, holy crap, this is working, right? Bobbins. Jamie's laughing because Jamie was involved. He was like part of this, right? So you're learning the secrets behind the things. That's it. That was it. That was like everything started to come to fruition, right? So Michael was the first ever winner, and I'm like, right, we're onto something here. And we're building this group, we're building this community, and we went from kind of like 0, and there's like 1,000 people, and there's 2,000 people, and there's 3,000. I'm like, oh man, this is insane. And we started to figure out that if we do these giveaways in this fishbowl funnel, quite quickly we start getting attention. Now, look, we made a lot of mistakes along the way, but this is the sort of formula so far. It was one funnel, right? It was the fishbowl, and this funnel would put the fun back into fishing, right? And we started to build this community, which was kind of a byproduct of it, but we didn't even spend any money. I only bought the prize when the time was right. So if you're sat there thinking, man, this funnel business seems like a really complicated thing, it's not. It was like, whoa, this is crazy. This is like 2 pages. So we had these 2 pages, and Michael would come along and he'd see these bobbins, the right name for him, and he'd go, oh, I want to win this. And he'd put his name, email, and phone number, and we'd add him to the mailing list. And then he got to another page which said, hey, join our group and like our page, and there's like a coupon for some other stuff. I was like, whoa, this is working. But we didn't have to spend any money to do it, right? So it was the fishbowl funnel was putting the fun in fishing, And to start off, it was actually free in respect of the fact that I already had the software anyway, right? And even if it wasn't, there was a free trial, and I could have done it in the free trial and started getting leads and making money. So unlike any other business that I've ever run in my life, it was easy, it was fun, it was quick to build, and to start off was free. We started to build up momentum, and we started to get people clicking and liking and sharing, and I was like, right, what's the next thing we could do on this? How do we take this to the next level, right? And Michael over there was the starting point of all of this. So what we did then is we started to, and I think Jamie's going to laugh when I show this, we started to introduce products of our own, right? So now we've got this community with people in there on Facebook, dead simple. So we had a funnel, it was fishing, it was Facebook, it was fun. We had a fishbowl funnel, that was kind of it. And we gave away a bunch of free stuff, and people started to interact. Who wants to see one of the first ever products that we put together that started to make us some funds, get us some money, right? And I'll kind of move into the next secret. You want to see? It's like, who wants to see? Let me know if you want to see. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. I'm only going to be on for 10 more minutes, right? Sunday. Jamie's still got the PVA bag loaded. And would you believe it? Inside this little bucket over here, there's this thing called the PVA bag loader that we've made with self. Now, for Jamie's sake, I'm not going to tell you how much it costs to make these things, but you can imagine. So we invented our own little product, and we went and sourced some other stuff, and we made these awesome little buckets, and we would start selling these, right? So this was like the foundation. How many Fs can I get into this presentation? This is kind of cool, right? So going back, with the fishbowl funnel, it put the fun in funnels, it put the fun in fishing, it was free, and we set the foundation with our own simple product that we literally made in like a 2-bedroom flat. It was like an apartment where I used to live. And we did all of this without like building this elaborate website, without having this crazy logo, without having all this brand, without like doing any of this stuff, right? We did it dead simple without spending anything. And because there was a free trial of ClickFunnels, even if we didn't have the software, we would have been able to do it anyway. And the only thing that sort of put me on this track was, oh man, it's another F, right? Is that focus, right? How many times can I do this? So guy says to me, hey, Danny, you're all over the place. I'm like, right. So I decided to quit all of that other stuff. I took a hit on money, but I knew that if I focused on one thing, which was fishing, and how many people watching this right now have got a hobby? Jamie's into fishing. You could do the same, right? There's like, we finished this one off. We don't do it anymore. There's room. There was room anywhere. How many people have got one hobby, one interest that they'll just love the most? It could be baking cakes. It could be dancing. It could be motor sports. It could be golf. It could be fishing. It could be anything, right? There's any kind of different thing. How many people have got a skill that they could share with another person and give something away, right? So instead of going in the store now to go and get some products and take a picture and put it back on the shelf, you can just go to Amazon. And then if they win it, you just Amazon the stuff. We didn't even have this like thing back then to be able to do it. And I realized this, and I'm like, oh man, this is even easier now than what it was then. So we focused. We had a funnel. We made it fun. And we built a foundation of our own product. So now you might be thinking, well, this all sounds good. Yeah, I can do this thing for free, and I can get this free trial, and I can build this fishbowl funnel because it's only a couple of pages, and then I can go out there and I can start building but where do I get the foundation? There's so many affiliate schemes and drop shipping products and things now that we didn't have then, that regardless what anybody tells you, what your teacher tells you, what the professor tells you, what the university tell you, with what I've just shown you now, if you focused on one thing, you built one funnel, and you set a foundation of just one simple product, 3, 4, 5 years, you could have turned over a big bunch of money. And everything comes from the little acorns the mighty trees grow, right? And we took a risk. we focused, we built a fishbowl funnel, and then we set the foundation. And if you fast forward, oh man, there's even more F's, right? We fast forward to now, the internet has evolved. Facebook has evolved. Funnels have evolved. ClickFunnels have evolved. And you're able to go on Amazon, copy and paste a picture, place it into your page, say, hey, do you want to win this thing? And then you can become an Amazon affiliate and you can send emails out to anybody who signs up. You can have a Facebook group where you share these products and you can start to make the money quicker and easier. And like, look, we took the hard road. You don't have to take the hard road, right? Because it's all laid out now. We were the ones with like the arrows in our back trying to figure this stuff out. Now it's not overly difficult to do. ClickFunnels still exists, still use it to this day. Fishbowl funnel, still use it to this day. The fundamentals and the foundation, how many more F's going to get, right? The foundations of all of this, still use it to this day. And, you know, we've been on for a little bit longer than I planned. But let me ask you this, right? Do you think, right, just answer me honestly in the chat. Do you think that if you focused on one thing, right, you got a free trial and you made a fishbowl funnel and you use something like Amazon or, you know, used products, or you made your own products, or you had an affiliate product to build a foundation, that you might actually just have a chance of launching some kind of business, right? This is the exact formula. I was like, I was got all these F's, right? Exact formula that we use to build, launch, and scale a business that did over $3 million, took us to 2 Comma Club, and allowed us to come back to ClickFunnels and share exactly how we did it. So if you have the focus and you make the decision, even if you did this on the side of your job with a free trial and a fishbowl funnel that's literally 2 pages, you don't need this big elaborate website, using photographs, which is not an F, but it sounds like an F, using a photograph from Amazon to help kickstart the business so you can build that foundation, build that mailing list, get members in your group, that you'd have a chance of actually doing something you love and doing something successful and actually have a chance of success. Let me know in the comments. It's like Jamie's on, right? So he's looking to turn his page into a business. This is the way that you do it, right? So you focus on your business. If it's fishing, you focused, and then you have your fishbowl funnel and you plug that in, and then you build your foundation with basic products, and you go out there and you start building momentum, and you do what we did. You know how we did it. You saw how we did it, right? So if it worked for me, why won't it work for you? Of course it'll work for you. But it's those 3 secrets, if you would. First thing you need to do is just focus on that. If you've got a day job, you kind of need to pay the bills, but focus, very important, all your spare time. You know, get focused, laser focused, and get in the right direction. Break into the market by giving things away. Fishbowl funnel is a great way to do that because it builds your mailing list in the process. And then get some foundational products, whether you get them off eBay or you become an affiliate, or you speak to a company, or you make them yourself, whatever it is, just to get started. What we were sending out in the beginning was like terrible, right? And we knew it was terrible, but we believed in it. If you focus and you believe in it and you've got that determination, then anything's possible, right? Let me know in the chat if anything's possible. You believe anything's possible. Jamie, I know you can do it. I'm going to wish you all the best. Jeff's doing it. Roxanne's doing it. Let me know if you're doing it, right? So it's the focus, the fishbowl. You can start for free and build your foundation. Does it make sense? It's like, is this exciting? It's like, I'm excited now. I need to go build funnels, right? So we've covered a lot. And you guys is like, Roxanne loves fishing, says you do. Jamie's like, thank you. So do you think you can be successful if you just deployed these things that made us over $3 million, which is about 2.5 million turned over in British pounds? It's not in the bank right now. We had staff and electricity and buildings and all these things to pay. But the cool thing about now is you don't need a building and staff and electricity and all these things to pay. You can run it without even touching the products, and you can drop ship products from China or America or Europe, and you can send them to your customers without even touching them. Everything is evolved, and you're at a point now in time with AI as well. You think artificial intelligence is evolving, where you don't even need to write or type or do anything clever. All you need is a plan, focus, fishbowl funnel, and build a foundation. And you can go on and you can make more money than anybody, right? Isn't that exciting? Are you excited by it? So look, if it's all right with you, what I thought I would do is invite you to learn more. So if you want to learn more about this stuff and you're interested in seeing like in detail, in depth, how we did this and learn a little bit more about it, let me know in the comments. If it's all right with you, I'll spend 5 more minutes just showing you something that I've put together to help you understand this in detail, how to do it, how to build it, how to structure it, how to grow it, how to scale it, and all the rest of that stuff that I've just mentioned, but in detail so you can see it and where I click and how I click and all the rest of that stuff. I'll show you some more examples from the fishing business. Is that cool? Just let me know in the comments if we can do that, and I'll spend just these last few minutes just inviting you to something where you can literally buy, man, in the next 7 days, you could have all of this installed in your own business. Roxanne's yes. Jamie, you down for that? Let me know in the comments if you're down, and I can show you exactly how we did it. We lift the lid. And I'm not talking about like selling you a course. I'm not talking about like giving you a book or a download or anything like that. I'm talking about spending a few hours with you to give you the whole structure, the strategy, the process, what you need, where you click, how you do it, how you build it, and even give you a fishbowl funnel as well. If you're down for that, let me know in the comments. I also said I'd give you something cool at the end of this. So what I need you to do, if you want that, is just stick around for the next 2 minutes, and then I can give you something cool as well, right? Does it sound like a plan? Let me know in the comments. Roxanne says yes. Other people, yes. I got it in the chat. Right. This is the plan, right? Yes. Right. On Saturday, I'm hosting a very special training. And this training is something that's been built over the course of all of this time since before the website crashed, all the way through all that education. I've done all the hard work so you don't have to. We've figured out this fishbowl funnel, We've figured it out to the point where I can just come and talk about this with passion and conviction and get you excited about it, because we've done it over and over and over and over and over and over again. We've tested it every single which way. And on Saturday, I'm hosting a special training that you can attend. And you can attend that training, and in 4 hours, 23 minutes, if you click where I click, you can have the whole thing built. So imagine if you could have that focus, you could have the fishbowl funnel, you could have that foundation, and you could do it in 4 hours, 23 minutes with my guidance, and we give you the whole funnel as well. So you just have to edit a few things using AI, and then you can go to work and put this to play in your business. And that sound like a plan? That sounds pretty cool, right? So this is how it's going to work. It's Saturday, and it starts at 3 p.m. UK time, or 7 a.m. Pacific time, or 10 a.m. American Eastern Seaboard time, right? Eastern Standard Time. So that's the times. Saturday. And you're going to give me 4 hours and 23 minutes, right? And in that 4 hours, 23 minutes, we're going to give you the strategy. We're going to give you the idea, whether it's fishing, dancing, drama, whatever. We're also, so we're going to, this is what we're going to get, right? You're going to get the strategy. You're going to get the systems. You're going to get the funnel, right? Just think like, what's a funnel worth? People are selling these things. I was selling them for 5-10 grand back in 2016, right? So that's worth at least 10 grand to actually know how to do this. Well, this made us $3 million. I can't promise you you're going to make anything, but it's definitely worth something, right? So that's worth an insane amount of money. The strategy itself, have you found this useful, what we've just been doing on this stream just now? So if you did this in an hour and I've just turned up live with a pen, imagine what will happen when it's structured and we're going through this step by step, right? So not only are you going to get the strategy, which again is worth a bunch of money, You're going to get the systems. We're also actually going to give you the funnel to plug in, and we're going to show you how to use AI to design and write and do all of that stuff. We're going to give you the emails as well. We had one email sequence that saved us over $250,000 in lost revenue. So you can see the value of this is insane, right? And on Saturday, 3 p.m. UK, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, we're going to go live. We're going to spend 4 hours, 23 minutes exactly. And we're going to give you the strategy, show you how to do it for your business. We're going to give you the systems. We're going to give you the funnel. We'll give you the AI. We'll give you the email sequences. And we're going to tie all of this stuff together in ClickFunnels with a bunch of gifts and extras and goodies along the way, right? And I want to invite you to take part in that from this Saturday. It's going to be done, 4 hours, 23 minutes, and you're going to have everything you need to go and plug into your business to get this thing up and running. Now, we did this yesterday, and yesterday we actually ran this for the first time. And during that call, 4 hours, 23 minutes, we launched everything. And today we've got people coming into a brand new business, like joining the group, they're on the mailing list. And we're at a point where we could probably start making sales in less than 24 hours, about just over 24 hours, right? And I'm so excited that I thought I'm just going to jump on and kind of show you this, right? So what you're going to get if you join me on Saturday for 4 hours, 23 minutes, it's not a big long course. It's not drawn out over the weeks and months. You come at 3 p.m. UK, 10 a.m. Eastern, you get the strategy, you get the systems, you get the funnel, you get the AI, you get the email. And on the call, we actually launch it. We go live, and everything's done live. We pick the niche, the brand, the project there and then, and we go all in. Why 4 hours, 23 minutes? So recently I flew to the US, and we were flying across from Manchester to Orlando, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I could just build one of these things and launch a business in this time? So not only did I come up with the concept and put the systems in place and build a funnel and use AI and have an email list built and launch this thing, I also created the Facebook page, Facebook group, and a Facebook ad, all on a flight to Orlando in turbulence on this crazy flight. And it took 4 hours, 23 minutes. I had time to spare. So imagine if I could teach you how to do this on Saturday, what would that be worth to your business? If all this did is just show you how to use AI, what's that worth? If all it did is give you one funnel and that focus, what would that be worth? Right? If all this did is show you how to make a Facebook ad or build a group or build a page, do half of the things that we did in the fishing business, what would that be worth? Right? This is insane. This is insane value, and it's my gift to you. But look, I can't do it for free because people who don't pay attention, right? So I want you to pay attention, but I could charge you, I don't know, what could I charge you, right? So all of that stuff, maybe it's worth $23,000. So if I could charge some company all that money and charge you 23 grand, would it be worth it? If you give me 23 grand now and I give you all of that stuff, but I'm not going to charge you 23 grand, right? Maybe I could charge you 5 grand and we could go public with this. We could go to events, we could run ads, and we could have this seminar, and we could do a big bunch of stuff. Remember, you're going to get the full strategy that we used to get $3 million in sales. You get the systems, you get the funnel, you get the AI, you get the email list. You actually launch this thing on the call, and you get a Facebook page, group, ads, and a logo. And at the end of the call, we actually give you what's called a framework where you can just plug all of this stuff into your ClickFunnels account. You wouldn't need ClickFunnels, but you can get a trial. I'll show you how to do that as well. I could easily charge 5 grand. We were selling websites for 5 grand back in 2015 for a website that nobody came to and nobody bought from. Like, I give you the whole thing. You get the strategy, the system, the funnel, the AI, the email, the launch. You get the Facebook page, group, ad, the logo, framework. Show you how to do all of that in 4 hours, 23 minutes. It's like a masterclass. We could easily charge 5 grand for that, right? But I'm not going to. I was going to sell this for $797. Right. And then something came to me and said, look, there's people out there that actually need this. And if I could just teach them this thing, then they never need to worry about money ever again. Right. What would it mean to you if you never needed to worry about money ever again? I can't guarantee that you're going to make sales. I can't guarantee this is going to work, but I'll give you this knowledge. Even if you just went and built one of these for a local business down the road, surely you could charge them $797, but I'm not going to charge you that. Right. So on Saturday, if you join me live, Saturday coming up, 3 p.m. UK, 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Eastern, you get the strategy, you get the systems, you get the funnel, you get the AI, you get the email sequence, we launch this thing, you get a Facebook page, group, ad, logo, and the framework also. You can plug it all into your ClickFunnels account. All you need is a free trial. I'm going to do all of that for a one-time payment of $97, which is about 77 British pounds. And you can get it if you go to, you see the little thing down here, www.serious-student.com/download. That's going to take you to a page that I built. I'm going to show you what the page looks like. Stop this one and share this one. So you go to www.serious-student.com/download, and you head on over here and you'll see this page. It looks like this. I'm going to share it on the screen right now. This is exciting. So you're going to get this, and on there'll be a video of me explaining exactly how this works. So you can see how this works. And in 4 hours, 23 minutes, you click, you do, you learn, you launch with me, $97, and you're going to get all of this. You can see some of the people from yesterday. Roxanne's on there as well. Peter's on there. Don's on there. Tara's on there. I'm going to literally unbox the whole thing for you in 4 hours, 23 minutes. And I'm going to give you everything you need, right? So you're going to get the strategy. You're going to get the systems. You're going to get the funnel. You get the AI. You get the email. You get the launch. You get the Facebook page, group, the ad, the logo, framework, and more, right? And I put a big bunch of blood, sweat, and tears and time and energy into doing this and getting it right. This is years of work condensed into the shortest amount of time I could do to educate, right? So in the first half an hour, you create your concept and your offer. Then we do your domain name, your brand colors, and your asset. You build your social media profiles. You build your funnel. You write your copy. You create a promotion strategy. You source your products. Remember, you can get products without even needing to touch them. We'll give you the email follow-up sequences, the exact strategy you need to launch. We'll launch this thing, and they give you the bonuses. So you're going to get full access to the AI tools. You get a pre-built framework with all these things we're going to give you, so you can actually plug it into ClickFunnels and just go and edit it and use it. And you're able to get a replay of the Ecom Challenge, value all of that, $21,985. And you can join this right now for 97 one-time payment if you go to www.serious-student.com/download, and you can sign up on this page. If you're ready to get started right now, you can go and do that. Let me know in the comments if you're excited, you're ready to get started, and you can sign up, and we'll see you on Saturday, where you're able to join me on the call live and direct. We're going to start at 3 p.m. UK, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. And you see all the details on that page. You see some people who've been through the program as well. And you see how this works. We started it yesterday. It's the first time that we've really ran this in this format. And if you're able to go out there and do this, hopefully this will have an impact on you, your life, and your business. Next available challenge is this Saturday. Starts there. So you go to on the page. You look down below is www.serious-student.com/download. Everything is available on that page, and you're able to get started right now. If you jump on there for $97, the best price that you see on that, and then from there, you join us on the program. You don't join us on the show, and we'll teach you all of this stuff on the live, and that's it. We're good to go. So we'll be on for about an hour, so we're an hour and 8 minutes. So we are going to bring this to a conclusion. But we appreciate each and every one of you. The link is on the screen if you want it, and I'll just remind you one more time: www.serious-student.com/download. You can join me on there this Saturday. We're going to go live. It's going to be a big bunch of fun. I can't wait to get into this. Can't wait to get started. It's Danny from Preston in the UK. I'll see you on the next video. I'll see you on Saturday. Make sure you check that link. There it is on the screen. You get all that stuff, and we'll give you the framework to plug into your business as well. Look forward to seeing you. Look forward to getting started. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.